Oh my goodness. We are back. Chances of this working smooth right now, slim. Not going to lie. The bar, the expectations, very low. If you can see me, if I sound all right, please hit me with your favorite emoji. It would make me very, very happy if this works. To say that we have had some technical issues this summer might be the YouTube understatement that I can possibly put together. But I would be fired up if this thing works, be fired up to talk some ball, and it is a timely return as we get going tonight. Little NFL action Thursday. What day is it? Man, Donald, that makes me so happy. Bear down, entrenched trader. I love it. Just going to upload a new Justin Fields video to the Patreon community. First one in almost 2 months. Whoa. What? Hope you guys enjoyed your summer. My summer, second half of it, had some frustrations, to say the least. Regardless, new rig, new everything, damn near, for the Quarterback School studio. Fired up to share it, put out all sorts of content starting probably tomorrow, depending on what the film is like available tonight. Might, maybe, potentially do a post-game show. See, I'm not going to lie, I get tired, but good chance that I'm jacked up tonight and can put one together after the show. Fired up. Shane, my man, we're back just like that. It's been a process, but thank you for bearing with me. Love it. Fired up to get back there. L Train, I already saw you taking the big L. I knew that L was for something. I didn't know that you were that Tulsa cat. Man, that's a tough L. That's a good win for my Davis Aggies. I'm not going to lie. Very fired up for them. Going to see them this week in San Diego. They got the Toreros, so hopefully they don't have a letdown after that massive win in Tulsa. My goodness. Thank you for the check and the dub, L Train. Whew. Nick, we're always looking for new sponsors. We've got some exciting stuff down the pipeline, not going to lie, this fall. I'm very excited to be back. Man, I'm not going to lie also, I missed this quite a bit. So I'm excited to get back to a regular schedule. The lives probably back Monday nights, pre or post Monday Night Football. We'll see. Find something out that we can do. I might just jump on and start doing it more just to appreciate the kind of the interaction. Whew. Pyro, my man Davis. Just like that, we're back. We're sort of back. I feel a little naked on the live stream because I haven't got the bells and whistles yet with the emojis and the sound effects, but at this point that took too long. We just needed to get back. Needed to get back with y'all, talk a little ball, and just like that. Man. Whew. Nick, feel free to reach out. Happy to chat. I'm actually doing fantasy football this year, so in my 6th graders fantasy football league, so hopefully I don't beat up on them too bad. But I'm fired up. My man, fired up. Week 1. I tell you what, maybe, I don't know, some people I feel like don't love college football as much as the league, but I had fun last weekend just watching the games. There weren't enough games for me. I wish they would have spaced them out even more for that long weekend. But man, it was fun to see games that matter. People putting in a significant amount of work for those Saturday games, get a chance to go out there, flourish. There were so many games I felt like I couldn't watch everything. Fired up. My man, Brian Silva. I'm fired up for week 1, man, and equally fired up to see some new QB school content. I'm fired up as well. Hey-o. Shane, we'll see. My man. Pyro, the Enigma. Ba-boom. Normally I'd hit you with that little cash emoji. Appreciate the support. If you're wondering about the people in the chat with the QB School logos after them, they are members. It's a cool way to support the channel. I sincerely appreciate the support. Also a cool way to make sure you stand out in the chats. I usually try to do a pretty decent job of being able to make sure I respond to as many comments as I can, but those comments in particular, it changes color the longer you're a member. So Pyro, I appreciate the support. Whew. Which college QBs were you most impressed with? Jermaine, that's a good question. this is not really answering your question. Although I'm a big fan, if you know the channel, of DTR in LA. I'm a Southern California guy, California kid. I really, really had fun watching UCLA play. I thought DTR maybe struggled a little early, probably didn't throw it as well as he wanted to, but that offense is my jam. And I know everybody's kind of like that with Chip Kelly right now, but what he's been doing run game wise in UCLA, I've loved for a long time. What he's been doing run game wise for a long time, I'm a fan of just offensively. But man, they mix personnels, they change the flanks. I probably had more fun watching that game than any other game, but it was fun to see just good football. I mean, like it was fun. I enjoyed watching the Davis game too, man. It was good stuff. Let me know who you like. What are quarterbacks that I didn't watch, didn't mention that I should see? Now, I don't need to hear the top tier guys, although I did not watch that UNC game, but I had a couple people reach out to me and tell me how was not as impressive as people would have thought. So I've got a couple of videos on him. I think he's going to be fine, but thought it was an interesting score. Didn't see any of the Tulane quarterback. That running back at UCLA is for real too. Man, Callum Simons, you think it's over for camp? You know, what is it? You know, is it meaning him being an MVP? Yeah. It meaning his opportunity as a franchise quarterback? Probably. You know, it's just there aren't many opportunities. There really aren't, you know, to get beat out by Mac Jones in that organization. You know, I think pending some sort of like injury or like almost like a Jameis Winston situation, but Jameis Winston is not old. Like, I don't, you know, it's just, there just aren't many jobs, y'all. Like, I know that's not a news flash, but for many of us in our occupations with whatever you're doing, you know, there's more than 32 opportunities. And so it's just, you know, it's tough to do that. Still, to me, for whatever reason, whether it's age or just injury recovery, he has never looked the same for me. And I don't think it's age. I think he's just never been totally healthy. I know that sounds like I'm making excuses, but you throw on the film, it doesn't look the same. So, yeah, it's a bummer to watch that kind of thing happen. But hopefully he keeps that thing good. Nash, what's wrong with the audio, bro? Bruce Reynolds, I appreciate it. Davis, feeling bad for Howell sometimes. The way they scheme those RPO leaves him frightening, vulnerable. Yeah, I don't disagree. I will say, this is coming from someone who really loves RPOs, has a course on RPOs if you're interested in the courses. There are ways, in my opinion, nowadays to manipulate the pass protection with the RPO. And so I've certainly gotten quarterbacks hit. I've been hit doing RPO-ish things. And I think that there are ways that right up until the snap, you can communicate with the tailback to, if you know you're gonna throw it, to protect yourself a little bit better. Now, if you're going through the long, you know, almost like two shuffles, yeah, then you're gonna put yourself in harm's way. But it's you know, it's one of those things. It's part of the decision-making process when you live in that world. But I totally agree. Boom, Pyro. CJ Stroud was looking good. That's true. He was looking good. I make no bones about it. I'm a big fan of what Ryan Day and Ohio State does offensively now. It certainly helps when you've got dudes everywhere. Chris Olave and company on the perimeter. And I'm just, make no mistake about it. That's not like, it's like saying you like the Beatles. Yes, I get it. They're good at football. But it is, I think, the top tier, what I would consider most top tier college football programs and the offenses that they're running, it's fun. I think it's fun football to watch. I really do. I'm not only like aesthetically pleasing, like exciting, but the schemes and how these guys are scheming space and time and tempo and personnels. It's good ball on many, many places, and it's fun to watch. We'll see if it's, I honestly am fascinated to see what the Cowboys look like tonight, what the Bucks look like a little bit. I don't know if I'm fascinated by that, but I am excited to see what the Cowboys look like. So we'll see if it's the same type of thing at the league level. I thought Matt at Ole Miss looks, you know, I think that offense is a hell of a lot of fun to watch too. I mean, it's one of those things that really, it feels like we're in like a sweet spot of quarterback play at the highest level. Even in college ball, everything is elevated. Scheme across the board seems to be elevated, where everybody's kind of making everyone step up their game, and defenses have got better, and all the multiplicity of what we're seeing on all sides of the ball, it just has made a really good process. Do you watch Hard Knocks? Shane Cram. I used to have the Hard Knocks that I was on. Oh, hold up. I think I've actually done this before on a live stream. I don't know if I've ever watched this. In fact, I don't know if I have a DVD player that works. Let's see if this thing can. Oh, yeah, there it is. Who's on the back of this? This back in the day, throwback. Little Hard Knocks for yours truly. What year was this? Cincinnati Bengals. Must have been 09, 010. Yes, I do. I do watch Hard Knocks. I don't watch it religiously, but I've seen, I feel like, multiple episodes. I don't know when it comes out, but it pops up on my feed. Hulu knows what I like. Nick, was Frank Gore your favorite running back you played with? I mean, I love Frank. I think he had a obviously awesome career. Was a beast when he was running the rock with the 49ers when I was there. I probably didn't appreciate how good he was, to be honest with you. I was kind of locked into just trying to play as well as I possibly could. To not appreciate it. I really liked playing with Deuce McAllister too. Deuce was a beast. He was massive, fast, and he like slid. He was like the first guy I ever saw that was like, I felt like he was almost like a speed skater. It would be like, and then whoop, and just gone, turn the corner and gone. And I just wasn't used to seeing a human that big, that fast, who could run away from people. That was the first guy that I remember popping. But man, there are so many good backs in the league. I mean, that's the thing about it. That's why, to a certain extent, their careers across the board are kind of short. And you know, you hear the phrase like dime a dozen because there are so many, but there are just so many good backs. Fired up. Maisha in the house. Fired up. This is a big week. Congratulations for sure. They very well might. It's a sweet spot. I'm fired up for Mr. Omar and all that stuff, and he deserves it, and it's gonna be good stuff. I'll put it on somebody again this Friday. Davis, I just tend to think there is a direct correlation between good scheme and good quarterback play. I'll be honest, not sure if I know of a great quarterback that plays in a bad system. There probably is. I don't know what the correlation exactly would be, but it's probably goes both ways, right? Like there are probably certain quarterbacks that I would say are great that haven't played in great systems. You know, I would consider, like, you know, no offense to Mike McCarthy, but for a long time when Aaron Rodgers was his quarterback and they were winning Super Bowls, I don't know if that was great coaching or great scheme. And I'm a fan of Mike McCarthy. He taught me NFL offense, but you know, was it great scheme or was it great quarterback play? That's just one example. Even Brett Favre, like, I mean, he was running versions of the West Coast offense his entire career. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily great scheme when he was doing it. Now, you think back to like Joe Montana in the original West Coast days, yeah, that probably is for the time great scheme. So I don't know. I would definitely, you know, not say that take is wrong by any means. I think they are correlated and there is a relationship between them. I don't know which one is, you know, I'd probably rather have a great quarterback than a great scheme, but it's just me. Got to overcome your coaching, bro. Josh Cribbs, how do teams do game plan installs for opponents with revamped coaching staff's rosters early in the season? Good luck. You roll the dice. Depending on what level you're at, you can go back and find film on the coordinator, personnel. You know, what did they run at their last stop? They try to do some digging. You know, it depends on what level you're at. If you're in the league, you know, most people know people, and so you have a pretty good idea of what their base is. Obviously, you got the preseason to see the bones of what they're running, but you have no idea. You don't know. In fact, nobody really knows at this point in the season. You come out there, and there's going to definitely be surprises. I would say all the way into the first month of the season. is how I used to think of it. And then you basically are who you are on film. Even the same way at the high school. We're at the high school level. We're going into week 4. And I would say, through 3 games, you can still kind of like not really show yourself completely on film as far as what your identity is, just because it's not enough time to see it. And even then, it's still a small sample size all the way up until you get, midway through the season. I think a lot of teams think midway through the season in the league that you basically, that is, your film is what you are at that point. But, it's tough if you don't know anything about the coordinator, opponent, scheme. It's difficult to go in there with any sort of like game specific type of X's and O's scheme. My man Bruce, appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Very cool. I've got another couple minutes and then I'm off to flag football practice. Not to coach, but just to drop off someone and watch, where I will try to watch the first part of the game. I think the game starts at half hour ish, and then we're going to try to jump back on here to just continue to enjoy ball, celebrate the Quarterback School Studio being back up and at it. Bruce, I appreciate might be a little too kind, but it is fun for me to share this stuff, and I do enjoy it probably more than I would ever have thought. So thank you for the support. Joshua, Mitch Trubisky looks better in Buffalo. Maybe it was the Bears scheme holding him back. Maybe. Paul Paulo, how do you manage the vax mask issues with your team and players' parents? Ho, Paul, you are hitting me in the sweet spot, right in the gut. This is a good question. This is actually a question that really I probably haven't thought about how I would answer to this group, but I think it's worthy about me saying the same thing that I say to the team. And it is, we try to be as adaptive as possible, and we try to do the right thing in everything that we do. And so for me, I'm not going to get into kind of a talking down to someone who isn't vaccinated. What I do is try to model the way, and I try to be explicit about how I model the way. So I say repeatedly that I am vaccinated, that everyone that I care about in my direct family is vaccinated. I try to instill a culture that promotes all the ongoing guidelines. Most recently, we've gone back to having face masks on the sideline because it's now a guideline in our district. And we try to do the right thing. I think that some of the players have now seen that depending on what their vaccination status is and what their peers, when they come into close contact with the positive test, what it does to them as far as being able to sit out, reinforces things that we've been saying the entire time. And so I try to promote it as much as possible, but I'm also sensitive to know that many of our players are minors and don't necessarily get to make those choices in their household. And so if they get an opportunity to lean or nudge that information in their family, and it's based off of something that I've said in that direction, so be it. I think it's positive for our football program for people to be vaccinated for a number of different reasons. Health first, but that's just my own personal take. Well, boom. Matt, I don't know about that. Ball in Canada still hasn't started. Cooper, it hasn't? Dang. I know the CFL is playing. My man is blowing it up for the Calgary Stampeders. I love it. Will Davis everywhere. Guys spinning it. Jake, the mayor of Calgary. Joshua, will you ever have guests on this show? Probably. Probably, bro. You got to give me a little hot second. Literally, it's been months since I've been on, and I'm excited to just get it up and running again. But yes, it's a good idea. It is heard. We'll think about it. Who you think should be the first guest? All right. Be on Twitter during the game. Hit me at the quarterback school, some underscore somewhere, and we'll try my best to fire this thing up back afterwards. As always, I appreciate the support. Videos right around the corner. If you want one right now, get over to the Quarterback School Patreon community. Watch Justin Fields, all 22 preseason. I think 2/3 of his preseason. So fire it up. Thank you, as always, for your continued support. See you after, probably.